1971 Canadian 1-cent coin. Hey everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of Canadian coinage, and we're pulling out a little gem that might surprise you with its hidden history, the 1971 Canadian 1-cent coin. You might be thinking, a penny? What's so special about a penny from 1971? And you'd be right to ask. On the surface, it looks like just another everyday coin. But trust me, there's more to this little copper disc than meets the eye. For years, the Canadian 1-cent coin was a staple of our pockets and piggy banks. It was the smallest denomination, the humble workhorse of our currency. But the 1971 penny holds a unique place in that story. Now, for the most part, a 1971 Canadian penny isn't going to make you rich. Millions of these were minted, and they're still quite common. However, like many coins, there are nuances and potential variations that can make certain examples more valuable to collectors. In 1971, the Royal Canadian Mint produced a staggering 439,837,889 1-cent coins. That's nearly 440 million. So, if you find one in your change, it's probably not a rare find. Let's take a closer look at the coin itself. On the obverse, we have the familiar effigy of Queen Elizabeth II by Arnold Machin, facing right. And of course, the year 1971 prominently displayed. On the reverse, we see the iconic maple leaf, a symbol synonymous with Canada. Below it, the denomination 1 cent and Canada. Pretty standard stuff, right? But here's where it gets interesting. While the vast majority are common, there's a small possibility of finding a specific variety that can fetch a bit more attention from collectors. We're talking about potential die varieties or mint errors. While not as well known as some other error coins, sometimes, due to imperfections in the minting process, a coin can come out with a slight anomaly. For the 1971 penny, collectors sometimes look for subtle variations in the design, perhaps a small die crack, a filled die error, or even a doubled die. These are incredibly rare and require a keen eye and often magnification to spot. For example, double die means that during the striking process, the die imprinted the design twice, slightly misaligned, creating a subtle doubling of certain letters or numbers. Again, for the 1971 penny, finding a significant double die would be an exceptional discovery. Beyond errors, the condition of your 1971 penny plays a huge role in its value. A coin that has been circulated extensively, with scratches and wear, will have minimal value. However, a brilliant uncirculated, BU, example, one that looks like it just came from the mint, with no signs of wear and original luster, can be worth a few dollars to a collector. The higher the grade, the more desirable it becomes. For a perfect, top-grade 1971 penny, you might be looking at a few tens of dollars, sometimes even more if it's truly exceptional. But remember, we're talking about the absolute cream of the crop here. So, what's the takeaway from our exploration of the 1971 Canadian penny? Most are common. Don't expect to retire on a regular one. Condition is key. A flawless, uncirculated example is worth more. Look for errors. While rare, subtle die varieties or mint errors can significantly increase its value to specialized collectors. This is where your magnifying glass comes in handy. The beauty of coin collecting isn't always about finding a hidden fortune. Sometimes, it's about the history, the artistry, and the thrill of the hunt. Even a common coin like the 1971 penny can spark curiosity and lead you down a fascinating path of discovery. So, next time you come across a 1971 Canadian 1-cent coin, don't just dismiss it. You never know what tiny secret it might be holding. What's the oldest Canadian coin you found in your change? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more coin collecting adventures. Thanks for watching, and happy collecting.